Good morning, everyone. Myself, Devajyoti Das from Product Success team of ServiceNow, and I'm a Product Success Architect. In today's session, we will go through one of the interesting feature of SAM, which is software spend. So before we start, this is our safe harbor statement. And what do we have in the agenda today? So what is software spend? Why do we use it? What should be the considerations and what do we have as a feature? And then we'll dive into a demo. Now, what is software spend? So it's basically a separate application that you can use for tracking, analyzing, and optimizing software spend based on the data that you loaded from the financial application of your organization. Primarily, this application produces the picture more for SaaS landscape, but then you can also measure the spending of your on-prem softwares in case if you are managing it in some other financial application. What is the primary benefit of using software spend? Well, from a gap analysis perspective, you can see what are all the softwares organization has spent money on, and then what out of them, which are the softwares that make sense to be managed in SAM. Same way, you will have visibility to the entire spend on the tech stack, what kind of software are there and what are their footprints. From an audit perspective, it definitely gives you the money that you have spent for buying the software and what are the specific areas of maybe optimizing the cost, maybe because of dual usages or maybe due to demand on cost savings on overall technology spending or to avoid layoffs. In order to start with software spending, the plugin we need is this, which is Software Spend Detection. It is a plugin separate than that of SAM Pro. And if you are subscribed to SAM Pro, you will need no extra cost for activating it. This plugin has dependency on SAM as well as predictive intelligence because there is a machine learning component to it. And hence, a separate contract or order form the team will execute with the client in order to ensure the legalities of the application. Because since AI is involved, some training has to happen outside certain data center. Those kind of cases will be agreed through the contract or order form. Now, this application is not available for on-premise client, only for client who are on ServiceNow Cloud. In nutshell, this application basically works this way. From your ledger or checkbook, you will get the spending in that you have already spent on purchasing software. Then you will load it into ServiceNow system, which will then go through some normalization effort and some data massaging, and then it will produce this report, the Discover Spend. This is the report which will then give you what kind of money has already been spent on which type of products. Now, let's see a quick demo of this small application from my Washington instance. So right now you are looking at my Washington instance. So post the plugin is activated, we just need to go here and say software spend, and that is where this module will be activated or visible. Now we have overview, overlapping software, all imported transaction, and normalized transaction, import transaction, all these modules here. Must say overlapping software, we have a separate video coming up. I'll concentrate on the rest of the modules. On software spend, import transaction module is where we need to load the financial information. Now, this is basically through our normal data source and transformation map, and the template is given here, and I have already downloaded it. And let me open it for you. This is the Excel, the template. You have the transaction date, vendor name, description, general ledger account, amount, type, location, cost center, department, source, type detail, external ID, employee name, employee email. Now, I must say the location, cost center, department, these three has got nothing to do with our already loaded tables. These are independent columns, but the reason to keep it without reference or independent of our base class table, which are available in the platform, is we wanted all the records available in location, cost center, department in your other costs or financial application to be reflected as it is. You can definitely do some customization to relate this data to the corresponding tables that are available in ServiceNow. So now I have filled the template with sample values. You could see I have used Oracle, Dropbox, and McAfee as vendor. So description is some random description I added. Some more data as per whatever will be there in the finance application that you guys will be referring to. So with this data, I am trying to simulate the situation where you have loaded your billing related information from your finance application, and these are the fields needed for the transactions to be loaded into the system. Let's get back into the instance and upload this file and upload, and you could see the system is now extracting the rows. Just refresh and it is completed. So here it is. So we could see this transactions or the rows are loaded here, and target records has been created. So target record is created on basically this table, which is all imported transaction, and software SAM spend transaction, software spend transaction. So let's filter it out. And this tree has been created. Now we could see for McAfee, no publisher or product has been identified automatically. For Dropbox, only the publisher has been identified, but for Oracle, nothing has been identified. And we'll see what are these. These are basically the part which is communicated, which is coming from the predictive intelligence engine, and it auto identifies if whatever you are uploading is a software, and if yes, what are the publisher and product. Considering this is my demo environment, so the accuracy is quite lesser. This obvious softwares like Oracle WebLogic Server and McAfee should have been populated a publisher and product. But then in case this happens, what we need to do is we open the record, and then manually we can identify or tag a publisher or a product. So in this case, we will see it's a publisher Oracle and WebLogic server, and we'll save it. And you can see state has been changed to manually labeled. That means we manually altered it. Now, if you can see the Dropbox one, it is labeled. That means ServiceNow engine has been able to at least find the publisher and whether it's a software or not. You can add product here, but we will not do it for now because it will cover another use case. I'll show you in a minute. So we could see three types of transactions now. One, McAfee, which is not identified as a software at all, and no publisher and product. Dropbox identified as a software, publisher also identified but not the product. And Oracle, which has been identified as a software and is and the product is also there, but we have done it manually. Ideally, in production instance, this renowned software will be auto-populated from our product predictive intelligence engine. So this is the job which the business rule has triggered and which has caused you to load the transaction in these tables and then trigger the transformation into target table, which is our SAM spend transaction. And then this job is responsible for the auto labeling of the transactions based on our content data service. Now, let's see how this data reflects the dashboard. So the dashboard can be accessed by clicking overview, and you could see this data has been loaded. All publishers is this cost. Now you have all these indicators. These indicators are loaded from performance analytics reports, and as you could see, these jobs for PA jobs, this one as well as these two jobs do populate the PA indicators in this dashboard. Now we have the graph bar chart with proper distribution of that spend, and let's see our product how it stands. So we have loaded Oracle and WebLogic server to be specific, and this is the one that we have added, which is so I just ran the job, which is performance analytics job, this one, and now I could see on the WebLogic server, which is loaded, our record is loaded, is now reflecting the appropriate graph. So initially we were not seeing any graph or any chart here as we did not run that job, which I just did on the backend, and it came up. Now this server is listed as proper transaction, but you could see there are some pointers which say unmanaged. Now what are these unmanaged? So let me give you the example from Dropbox, and we did loaded Dropbox where we were not able to identify the product, and hence it will come up as unnormalized. Now unmanaged means we are not only able to identify the product, but also there is no software model in the system to manage the same. So how do we address it? So what we will do is, let's open this record, this one, and let's put a product of Dropbox here, say business, and save it. And let's go to the product model table, and let's see we have any product of Dropbox, which is product of publisher Dropbox with Dropbox business as the product. We don't, so let's create it, business, and simply create it. Go back here and run the jobs again. and let's wait for it to complete. Okay, the job is completed now. So I'll go here, refresh, and you could see the Dropbox business is properly identified and it's no longer unmanaged. Now going back to the total publisher, here the unmanaged product is basically all the product for which a software model is not there. Same is the case for unmanaged publisher. Total detected spend is addition of total account plus total expense spend. And account spend and expense spend are to identify a transaction. Unmanaged spend is the spend generated out of unmanaged products and publisher. Now, the total spend do include unmanaged spend. So, which means this and this also include the unmanaged spend. And total spend is a summation of total account payable spend plus expense spend. To show you how the custom location and all works, let's go back to our Dropbox example. In Dropbox, you could see the cost center, and this is what, while grouping it, you could see the custom cost center that we have loaded our Dropbox product against. Same is the case for department and location. The last transaction, which is McAfee, you could see it is not even listed here, and I guess you guys might have found out why, because it was not identified as a software and no publisher and product. Again, you can mitigate it by manually leveling it or reaching to ServiceNow content team to upgrade the content service so that our PI engine automatically corrects it. Now, there is another important aspect of this solution, which is content service. The moment you activate the plugin, the content service in software asset management will have this one activated, software spend transaction. If you switch it on, these are the fields that will get pushed to the training center where our machine learning model can train on your data. So just to show you how the theory part of this, so when the content service is off, you load the data through the Excel, then the data is in your spend table, and this is where our predictive intelligence will work and will auto classify the software field, the product field, the publisher field. From your data, it will communicate the vendor description, the GL expense, etc. Predictive intelligence engine will get the feed from the content data service, which is again the data storage where we have our already baked publisher product models trained, and that will then help you in auto finalizing the publisher and product in customer instance. Now, if the content service is switched on, this procedure will stay as it is, but then from your instance, our content data service team will get the feed so that we can normalize or take an action on your specific data. Once the data is available, your data is available in this data store, then our content team will ensure what kind of interpretation has to be made with your data and how better your data sits in the publisher and product field of the spend table. When we are enabling the content service, these are the only fields, along with mostly these fields along with whatever is mentioned here is transferred. One thing is for sure that is not transferred is your financial amount or anything that identifies you as a client. So thus we could see how this application software spend can help you in understanding the total cost or money transaction already spent across purchasing, maintaining software across your organization. To conclude, in this session, we have seen how software spend will help you in understanding how the finance or money is spent across all your software purchases across the organization, the important scripts and jobs in place, and how to import the financial information from the application to this instance, and how content service can help you in the process. With this, I have come to the end of this session. I hope you have find this session useful. We'll connect you guys again in another session. Thank you.